Hello, welcome to another video. Hichi video hi electricity chapter ipadyo hitan. Masa chuna last video chana ju class 12 adinga first chapter ju electrostatic part jo si zo hitan na. Hi cho chona ve velang paten to hi NCERT ko velo chun electrostatic ki chaya hi na electrostatic ki chaya hi capacitor ke pan pai cho. Ay vanga chu capacitor masanga chu chipen hi chapter pa hena current electricity pa hi bol masat dio vintin aji chu capacitor jong khuna circuit ve cho capacitor ko circuit ve hintin circuit capacitor circuit solve dan jong khuna hi chi electricity chapter a circuit solve dan to in ki bang cho ti ja chu hila ya circuit solve dan ki hel masat dio na hi chi ki jo phala chun capacitor involved chi phala chun hungnop solve dan khuna circuit hovel solve dan khon manop chom cho. Okay, tempat ya standard book dio ho velo chun capacitor ke palma sanga hai na he je chapter pa hi current electricity chapter pa ke palma sa ji cho. Okay, so chipen hi electricity adinga video masapen na so lecture masapen hi in he chela hi current density drift speed ti ho na mobility resistance ke ti basic new cha tham cha ho even ya i bol masat ding vinten next lang ban video ban hu combination of resistors ke ti ho na circuit lampanga chule cells ke ti ho jang bona involved cha ka sai ji banga chu video ho hi na vet masang wa hena example chu tu nya he chapter hi current electricity chapter pa diu tan ten he chi masang hi theile hin na NCERT book ham a hi lo le theory na khat chuna simma sawin lang abala he chila hi in betaw okay chuki le he chila question solve ho hi concept build na dinga na formula khat chuna so first you learn a formula he china formula simple chun head percent head to chaduna as formula chu ipiham ipia ke mangham amandan jong chu amandan ho chu iti ki head ham de question in solve phal khon question khala ni solve hi ko formula mandan idea themat ke he ki he ta chu. Okay, chi chu question chulai hi lecture ho hi vela chun question ka tam solve lo na ai wanga chu etiha I try to cover as much as I can. Okay, chi chu hintin chi chu book jong na follow diu chulai kuna question jong chun solve diu na chi chu hintin chukile tang video jong ka sai ji pon hi jong le he chi description a he na he chi video description a hi I khat he chi lecture notes ka si mo hi he chu hi minten etiam khana book na follow one he thilo wa jong le na chulai non ka si mo hi ke download velang he chu sim daw abal question ho jong hi avian solve ke velang na ni ve thum ve solve velang chi chu hintin okay chukile he lecture ka sim hoi regular 10 ve velang na aji chu hi like a cover cheng jong hi born in cover lechen so I'm hoping that you will score very good in your exams. Okay, chu hinten introduction tu hinan lut taw tin so first is current chu pitina ham. So what is current? Ihe su ke na high school azong isim taw current chu pi ha suppose conductor here to na conductor last lecture azong ko saitan conductor I free electrons so hi elo charge ho hi kito so movement chuna example suppose I have a conductor like this hi dai cross section khalum chuna so this is a cross section area chuna ala chila area hi velo chun charge ho chu ahong flow phal chun hi chila area hi pass through this chuna they will pass through this area. So here the amount of charge passing through the surface area per unit time chu current keti so simple ta sai dinga chuna a hi lo le rate of transfer of charge from one side of the area to another side chu cross section khat area ma chalai cross section area sunga chuna cross section area chu charge is at passam second khala charge is at passam na he chu current keti so current jong chu ma sapena average current keti khajom ken na alang pi hi physics a hi no observe thil khan no observe chu pi ham de average ang kati pha la hin formula jo se delta ke put ve to chipen hi chu delta chu pi tin ham tele so delta basically means final minus initial. Okay, to kinematics langa jong chu average acceleration ti hoi bolo chala na average velocity ti ho jong so delta means final minus initial. Okay, remember you like that chu average is average current chu delta q by delta t. Okay, banle to ka sebanga chu charge per unit time ke ti pa chu na chu current is so at any given time. Okay, at any time t the current is given by so dq by dt. Okay, chu tang limits ibola ke mangham tele so when the time is very small for an instant na at an instant the amount of charge passing through the area chu current ke ti so dq by dt. ko tila chilai dq by dt ko na hena he do chu biham I is equals to dq by dt ji he do chona na so like capital Q coming timang jingute a hello le he you can also rewrite like this dq chu biham current into dt na to hin both side integration ga bole chon iping podo de ha so dq is equals to integral I into dt okay ko tila integral dx to x chola na chita banga chu integral dq chu biha q is equals to integral I into dt okay chita bang hai relation khat ong pot thai cho to chu question a karan hung ke peding enten so find charge na find charge flowing in a 2 second 3 second ya ka dong thai cho he chelai relation kan ji pa he nai important relation he diu chu karan na chu bhiam telema sapena so I equals to dq by dt chu relation ma sapen na question na chu charge ong ke pia karan nan do wal chun d by dt chu bia differentiation ti nai chun na he abana bia charge to integral I into dt to chu select note bangka sim lo banga chon he diu khat chu matang he ji repeat paging da chu kinematics se bol bajang chu na integral ahung mala chun chu area ti nai za slope ahung mala chun chu slope differentiation ahung mala chu slope ti nai cho graph question chila hi kan solve me thei ka solve lo me thei veu te na phar I bol thei wala bol dio ai wanga chon he diu kha chu ta hi formula hung mala na physics ha chu so if you have a q versus t graph okay q versus t graph hung mala chun so you find the slope of that graph that will give you the current okay ani chu current versus time okay ti chu time to current graph hung ke pi ala chun he chelai nu ya graph nu ya area si chu hol le chun chipen chu chart hung he na aji chu piham integration chu area ti nei chu okay and differentiation means slope okay bale unit of current chu biham ampere na bale direction of current chu hem abangwa chu electrons to negative charge chula na abana batang charge chu electrons proton tin saida jing jong le hen positive charge ho flow na lang chuna chu direction of current so it is opposite to the motion of negative charge chi ja chu hon se ji ho pha electrons flows opposite to direction of current ti ju chula na chu current direction chu hilang ham motion of positive charges okay chu basic niam sa na to hi question khat le ni ga solve ti chilai formula chilai important relation ka ji na formula te ni mang cha hi na masapena chu electric current exists in a discharge tube of 2 microampere khutile current ki pina current chu phiam 2 microampere micro chu pitina ham 10 power minus 6 ampere okay ale how much charge is transferred across a cross section area of cross section of a tube in 5 minutes time ki pi chu phiam 5 minutes okay to chu time chu second a ke kela ji chula na so second convert le chun so 5 into 60 chu pi ha 5 6 are 30 300 seconds tinai cho okay time ale current ke pia time ke pia question chu biham how much charge ati cho achela hi integration machangai lo na e hon her chu biham current chu biham charge divided by time so therefore charge chu biham current into time current chu zat ham 2 into 10 power minus 6 time chu zat ham 300 seconds so to 3 are 600 into 10 power minus 6 na hello le 600 microcoulomb charge to coulomb so na electrostatic side ball pouch okay so this is an answer simple question na abana hi the amount of charge passed in time t through a cross section of a wire is given to juka sei ba charge hong ki pita so na to hi charge hi value hen it is a variable okay so a into t square a value ke pi ke na a chu pi ham 5t square plus b chu pi ham 3t plus c chu 1 to heta hi charge ki pi chu charge hi value chun time ke depend chula na so time ki depend a chu question chun pi do ham find the value of current in time t equals to 5 amma sa pen current hi herong ai cho so current chu pi ham current as a function will be so dq by dt okay so dq by dt chu pi ham d by dt into okay khotla d by dt into charge achunga pe khona so 5t square plus 3t plus 1 okay chi differentiation na bol d by dt ki chu differentiation ti nai jana so 10t plus 3 okay he chi pen hi pi ham current as a function of time okay okay to chu time ki pina time chu pi ham t equals to 5 second ki ti cho so therefore current at t equals to 5 so t khel khon 5 ko le chun so 10 into 5 okay plus 3 zat ham chu 53 ampere okay chu current na okay bana current passing through a wire as a function of time is given to hi current ki pita na ajo jo charge ki pia current ki dong za to hi current ki pia charge ki dong na kutile current chu pi ham so it is equals to 0.02 into t plus 0.01 hi current chu na ampere hi so the charge that will flow through the wire from t equals to 1 to t equals to 2 to hi charge ki dong na kutile relation kha chu pi ta so chila hi current hong ki pia charge ki do la chun integration na bol dio ta chu charge hong ki pia current hong ki do la chun differentiation na bol dio na so here we have to do integration to chu pi ham so charge is equals to integral so the current whatever current is given into dt okay current ki pi pa chuna chila input le chun is at ha 0.02 into t plus 0.01 okay integral so dt ale limit cho hoila chan dingam time cho duration ke pi cho pi ha t equals to 1 to t equals to 2 ke ti chuna chala he hotela limit cho 1 apara 2 chana hi ngai cha okay then you solve this one to he is that has been 0.02 into t differences integration to t square by 2 okay plus 0.01 into t is that into t na limit so hoya pa hola chan ham so from 1 to 2 okay integration bol chan ala chalai ko na hisat ha so here I will have 2 pen here 0.01 na kutile value chan 0.01 common ta chula na so 0.01 remaining cho pi ham t square plus t so from 1 to 2 okay kutile upper limit ko put masala chan 0.01 into so 2 square plus 2 na minus abana lower limit put le chun 1 square plus 1 okay chi chu hujing na kutila 0.01 into 2 or 4 5 6 minus 2 okay is that the like 0.01 into 4 chi chu 0.04 coulomb okay chi chu charge na okay option b okay b part kutile bana chu khadom na line na so electric current in a wire is given as I as a function of t chichu I naught plus beta into t okay I naught value chu ham 20 hiza beta chu ham 3 into t okay I chu ki pina chi azo ta bang cha cho current hung ke pia charge ke dole integration ni bol na aki hin chu pi ham chalai time ki pidan he in 20 second adi cho khutile time duration chu izar ha t equals to 0 apara t equals to 20 chanti ne cho 20 in 20 seconds ki ti chuna okay then charge chu zar ham charge to integral I into dt okay I chu zar ham so 20 plus 3t so integration dt limit chu hoya pa hola dam ham 20 second na from 0 to 20 okay ale hi integration bola 20 into t plus 3 into t square by 2 integration of x to x square by 2 na khudela t to t square by 2 limit cho hoya pa hola chan ham from 0 to 20 okay limit put le na chala he so 20 ka podala 20 into 20 to 400 plus 20 squares of 400 into 3 by so you will have 600 subtract bol ngai na so this minus lower limit pa population 0 hong so beta so 20 into 0 is 0 so 3 into 0 square by 2 to 0 na okay hotile sar hachi 1000 okay so 400 plus 600 so 1000 coulomb okay answer is c to chuvta he choi dang bola previous year question ka put ham ka tile question formula chu he tawsana formula mane chu he wa kha chu q equals to integral I hong ki pia q holding also integration holding q hong ki pia I holding also differentiation holding na differentiation holding to chu he chi a holding chu he do na formula jong he do chu actual question it apply ding ham ti vet sana chu na chipen chu he chi a chu actual question ho kan solve ji chu chala he to chu no exam ha na ni hi lang je jong le question ong ki do ala chun hi chu ta bang thim thim he na so hong ki lo thim thim beta so the questions will be very similar okay okay then current chu chu na basic current chu hizing okay bana quantity dang khan na current ti lo quantity dang khar din chu pi ham tele current density he chi current density hi pi na so current divided by area na so z chu pi ham current density chu z ki represent ko tele current density chu pi ham current divided by area na e hona electrostatic as he chu pi ham area chu vector ki ti chu na dot product of z and a ti chu current density to area dot product chun current api de okay ti chu tam dia quantity tha khalong ki introduce is na chila him masanga high school ho jona na sim khalo du za chepen hi ale he chi current density to current ki hi na hi pi ham tele he chi current density pa he na he chepen hi vectors so this is a vector quantity ti chu it has both magnitude and direction ti chu he chi vector current density pa he na magnitude to direction ane intin so this is a vector quantity I have a current hu value current hun magnitude jong ania direction jong ane chuna see example all like Kirchhoff law jang involved jana chala him suppose current hita hang jona 5 ampere ale 2 hen chi current pa he tinung ki split le suppose silanga hi 2 ampere chi tiuten lakha langa hi current is a chi de ha 5 so total he jana 5 la chu ni chu chilanga chi le chun remaining chu 3 chu la na remaining chi chu chilanga chi chu direction he chi direction pa he bela chun hilanga ko thai lo chu okay to chu hilanga ko 3 ampere ti le so 5 to 3 hi so they meet at this point so along this side you will have 8 ampere okay to chu direction hi bela chun poi mo chana la he so 3 ampere so it has to go along this side okay bela chun magnitude jong direction jong chala na so but current is not a vector okay current kiti hi vector hello it is a scalar quantity chu pg ham tele vector hidading achuna quantity khachu vector hidading achu ma sapena magnitude anai ngai ani na so vector direction anai ngai na chukile so one more point chu pm tele vector addition na vector law of addition ho follow ngai to chu vector law of addition chu pe ha hita he vector kha chia hita vector kha chila chun ki ka angle chu theta hele ehon hele chu pe ha suppose this is a this is b a square plus b square plus 2ab into cos theta hi ta enable ju na vector addition chu to chu chipen hi karan akila lo chu so it doesn't matter so we don't care about how much angle is here na to chu direction pa hi poimo magnitude jang poimo a hi wanga vector addition pa ho ki follow lo na chela hi chi ji chu current pa hi vector hi lo chu so current is a scalar quantity a hi wanga chu current density ki ti pa hai na so this is a vector quantity okay you make a note of that point na abana hina drift velocity ki ti khata to electrons to ki relate na conductor sunga charge current ong ki flow phale khun electrons of flow phale khun he chi velocity of electron na drift velocity ki ti kharom cha chu biham si in reality conductor sunga khona conductor sunga khu electrons ho heti movement hui to bang ha example electrons bo siam no pechura na conductor sunga khom ions chum oma chukela lattice chu ions avial lattice structure chu chemistry solid state na the lattice structure si mo chi to bang ho hen tin so electron khat chu example hi de ya chia la chun na so it collides with another ion na ama sanga lin zo ion to ki collide so ki collide ja so ama ion ki rebound na chi to bang so la khala chi la chun ki collide kit ita chi collision tampium cho che electron so na collision ji a hi ita hi ti ha random path a hi na ita hi lengle lejing so electron pa hi so its part is English NCERT ki pi chu piam tele zigzag pattern ki na NCERT chu so this is a zigzag pattern simple ta se so random pattern ti nei cho a path chu na electron chu so it is a zigzag pattern khud electric field om lo wala chu na conductor sunga chu so in absence of electric field hechi electron chu munchum chuma ta aki chob le wanga chu overall displacement chu na if it ala chun net displacement im cham lo chu mu khana pana mu khana ki chun phai ta lo na overall asal hang pia chu vela chun om nama ma chu ta chu munchum chuma ta he na so random motion na chu electron pa chu ti ha move le jing chu but when in presence of electric field ta electric field hum phala chun ipiti ha suppose electric field hita yam e so now if you see the same path electron pena electric field hum mala chun a path chu tabang ha so now it will go collide okay ta chu collision hum ke ding ai wang chu collision of wanga chu mutang electric field hum mala chun electric field sunga charge phat chun force experience na electrostatic as a force chu pe ha F equals to Q into E chu F equals to Q into E to chu electron ong hiala force chu pi ta force chu E into E minus E into E okay he force pa he electron chunga hongom ta chu phala chu themkha khat na all sa chu themkha khat ta chu ke deviate pay ta chu na so it will so some displacement is going to happen okay apart he vilachun to chu atila hi net displacement 0 chu hitin ga bet sa lew hen achu na ma chu danin ga koi lew hen to chu electric field hongom phala chun itabang hun ta to hem so now so it will have moved by some displacement hitin jiu na so like this okay and final position is here electric field pa hi hirang ti lew hen na as chu negative charge ong hila chun force to opposite to electric field om ngai za na to chu electron pa hi hilangai ki shift ta chu force om ja su na so now if you see the final position chu chelanga om ta na initial chu chelai hi hiza so now you have some displacement overall chu na electric field ja chun thempat ani ki displace ta chu okay khutile chilai hi tang displacement chelai displacement travel dinga chu pi ha velocity chu na speed velocity bol ho chu so here see the average velocity electron ho zo si hina he chelai displacement covering velocity ho chu average ila wala he average velocity si chu na chu drift velocity ki ti chu so here NCERT follow lew hen if electron starts from rest so v chu pi ha u plus at chu na ho he chu so if u is equals to 0 so v is equals to ipita 0 plus acceleration chu zat de ha Newton second law mang lew chun m into a equals to e into e magnitude jiu tena la he so here I will have a is equals to e into e divided by m he value hila pulu lew chun so e into e divided by m tau time zong thena so now time will be tau he time tau ke ti he pm ti relaxation time ti chu collision khara para he na example chu like collision na holang chelai collision apara helai pan achi hi time t1 diu tena helai para helai ka hi time t2 diu tin so chelai para chelai ka hi time t3 hi ta hi so time between two collision chuna he chi ho so se chu average ila wala okay so the time between two successive collision the average of all of these times he chi ho se chu average ila wala chu tau relaxation time ke ti cha so this is your drift velocity so vd is equals to e into tau divided by m okay drift velocity okay abana he drift velocity kiti na hina iti ha common layman terms ti ha simple ta asai dinga suna ep ke sei na ham dele to he conductor om ji khulana suppose I have a conductor he conductor sunga hi okay tai conductor om na just right he conductor sunga hi adita khu electron path khona electron ti ha path khu motion khu velo chun zigzag pattern so tai zigzag pattern na ai wanga che hon chun pi assume vem tele now we have to assume that these electrons are moving uniformly electrons um bhai na to hi uniform a chiu ta so they are moving uniformly with the same speed electron zo si hi tai ki tol vintin ai wanga speed common kha anai na he common speed chu bi ham tela chelai drift velocity ti pa na je so drift velocity ti pa he ben he average velocity pa na so now we can assume that all electrons are moving uniformly na ita chi vantin with the same velocity chu bi ham drift velocity okay vd abon vai vd ne na dai chu ti ha simple ta sai dinga na drift velocity pi ti nam che pen ko chu hi reality achu electron path chu zigzag random pattern hiza hi wanga chu if we assume na that all the electrons zo se chu uniformly ta hena tui lun banga ho lun khom wale it's a speed pau chu na chu every that the speed is the drift speed or drift velocity okay atila to hi suppose let's say electrons are moving na hita hi chu khutele let me take one cross section okay like cross section laute chu cross section area a tiute khutele to hi at t equals to 0 tiute na jela hi t equals to 0 he value chun chela aning la electron dim set okay electron dim set na area area apel masang chat wa na ai hilang side hi electron ten ta so tai ki tol diu ta so okay so now let's take another cross section here khutile he chi cross section ma sapa para he chela chi na he time lut jan hi ti tiu So that means here time is t. Kutile to hi chilai alhun wa hi electron hose na. So now let's say time t equals to 0. Kutile in hla deu ta chu in hla wala they will start flowing here, flowing into the first surface area. Now when the first electron akomam ho na hi chilang ang thun phat wala chun, so we're going to pause the whole thing. Okay. To chu hilanga electron mo na ang ki tol wala chun chilanga deu ta chu. Hilang gai tau na. Hila pa tai chi wa gai tau. Kutile hi chi time t sunga chu na. Time t sunga electron hechilai surface area khalsi si chu to ai hoya umata. So in during this time na time t sunga hechi first surface area sunga ho chi si na those electron which have passes through the first surface area am ho si chu hoya am tam tele hechilai region sunga umata cylindrical region sunga hai na. So chilai cylindrical region sunga electron mo in study deu so in sim deu. So here we have one term. Chi time is same sang chun na chela he velo chun he chi distance pa he zat de ha. So a speed chu vd he le chun time chu t he le chun distance to speed into time na. So distance is vd into t. Okay. He chela first surface area to ani na pa ki ka distance pa he na speed into time ka bana le chu he jing area chu a tiuten. So here I have one term. Okay, one term that is what the number of electrons. So free electrons kasi na so Japan here number of free electrons so free electrons per unit volume. Okay, so let's say let n is equals to the number of free electrons per unit volume na heji quantity khani ki define so I define dem na khut chi pi kasi na hotel n chu pi na so n is equals to number of free electrons per unit volume ki jo number of free electrons divided by volume ti nei so chu pi ham number of free electrons divided by volume. Okay, khutile chelai para hai na chelai para hai number of electrons I hol num wale so chipen hiranga koi vilang volume pa hi hiranga transfer leo chun iping pot de ha. So we have therefore the number of free electrons na. So free electrons, so this is equals to n into volume. Okay, n into volume. Hotil chelai volume hi pi ha kasi bang chu chelai cylindrical region sunga electrons umjau si hi study pol ko ti chuna. Hotil chelai cylindrical region pa he chi cylindrical pa cylinder pa he na chi volume hi holongai so. So what is the volume of a cylinder? So volume of any solid object chu pi ha base area into height ti usala na met sa ko mensuration na ko. Kutele base area chu a ti over height chu pi ha height chu vd into t. Kutele volume chu area into height n into area into height chu pi ham vd into t. Okay, hechi hi number of electrons. Kutil abana pi bol be du ham see one electron kuna. So charge of one electron, the one electron hong malasan a charge chu pi ha. All right. One electron khat chu a charge chu zat ha 1 e tu na. Kutil if I have 5 electrons, okay. So 5 electrons charge chu pi ha 5 into e na. Kutil if I have n into a vdt number of electrons, okay. Kutil amosi charge chu pi de ham n a vd into t into electrons. Chi yong ni chula na. Okay, basic unitary method. Okay, khutile chila hi total charge kan hole ta cho he chi cylindrical sunga he na total charge suzar ham. So here total charge ti chu q diu te na la capital Q ham small let's say capital Q. Khutile chi pi di ha zo se bang ba chu number of free electrons into e. Okay, chi chu pi ham, so I'll write on this side. So total charge to Q it na. So Q is equals to number of free electrons so piham achunga ko. So n into a into vd into t into electron e. Okay, it's a lazy power na total charge so piham total charge will be so number of electrons in times e. Okay, hutile tu hing charge hichi na time pa ko left lang transfer hote so q by t. So this is equals to n e a into vd. Okay, kutila q by t chu ipita current lo na q by t chu. So here you have current is equals to NEA into VD. Hechila here relation khat na, so very important relation. So relation between current and drift velocity. Hechi relation khat chu imu cho chela him. So q chu hilowa azwa chu current density jong ibolo chula na, tun area pa khu velenga hin transfer le chun. So current divided by area is equals to NE into VD. So current by area chu pita current density chula na. So here I can write J is equals to NE into VD. Okay. Hechila hi relation ni tam je ni mel chi ta o direct question jong ki dong ji chila hi. Atile chila hi relation a he na. So here wa chu current chu a he jana. N hi biham n chu number of free electrons per unit volume. So per unit volume mel chi da ji so. E hi biham so one electron charge na. A chu area cross section hi ja. So VD chu drift velocity. Okay. Then question ga solve na ji ho he. First question chu calculate the drift speed of electron when current ki pina I chu biham 1 ampere of current exists in a copper wire of cross section. Area zone ki pina la hi. So 2 mm the whole square. To choose that ham 2 into 10 power minus 6 meter square. Meter square and converted to abana number of free electrons ki pina to number of free electrons in 1 centimeter cube ki ticho. Chicho pite na number of electrons per unit volume ki ticho na la hi. See, so n chu pita number of free electrons divided by volume chuna na ji. So volume chu ja ke pm 1 centimeter cube. Okay. To chu 1 centimeter cube dong chu 1 meter cube an convert ngai cho. So 1 centimeter chu pm so 10 power minus 2 meter na. So 1 centimeter cube chu pm 10 power minus 6 meter cube. Okay. Khutile chila hi I can write here 10 power minus 6 meter cube. Okay. To n value chu pm a number of free electrons ki pina je chong ki pin din chipen hi line put le chun. Okay. So you'll get the value of small n. Ga put le chun za ha. So 8.5 into 10 power 22 so divided by 10 power minus 6. Okay, so his small n value na is that ham chipen hi 8.5 into 10 power 28 minus 6 ko chung la chi to wala. So now we have end I a oma to chu pi ke varam VD hold na. So therefore relation in pita I is equals to NE A into VD. Kutila chalai ko na hi VD chu ipiham VD chu I divided by NEA. Okay. Value hoy put velang solve le na. I choose that ham current to 1 ampere. So divided by N choose that ham 8.5 into 10 power 28. Okay. Into E chu piha charge of 1 electron chu. So 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Okay. Abana piha area na area song chu ke pi chula. So 2 into 10 power minus 6. Okay. So you have to just solve this one. Is that 19 to minus 6 to minus 25 na. Minus 25 to 28 to plus 3. Okay. So if you try to simplify, you have 1 divided by 8.5 into 1.6 into 2 into 10 power 3. Okay. Here's a solve le na. Final answer na nilipan chu. Okay, so you'll get approximately 3.67 into 10 power minus 5 meter per second. Okay, abana a uniform wire of diameter D carries a current of is that kpm current to so 100 milliampere to 100 into 10 power minus 3 ampere. Okay. When the mean drift velocity of electron of the wire is v, so vd to pkpm v kp na. Diameter so d is a radius to that ha, so d by 2 ong yang na radius cho. So for a wire of diameter to hi comparison question cho. So first wire to chi na, so d1 r1 to the d1 to d is a r1 to d by 2. Ale abana hi piham. So for another wire of diameter d by 2 kutile khachu d2 na, d2 chu piham d by 2 kutile r2 chu za dingham, so d by 4 na. Half ahong ingai chola na radius chu. Okay, then current zong ke pi chipen hi I1 is a abana pen hu I2. I2 chu zat ham 200 milliampere, so 10 power minus 3 ampere. The mean drift velocity for the second wire. Khudile second wire pa V2 tiute na, V2 tizingute. Hama sapa chu V1 tiute. So V1 chu V ke pia, V2 chu hold dio. So formula chu direct an apply dio jing wala here. So formula chu piham I equals to NE A into VD. Okay. Khudile I1 chu pia, I1 chu N into E into area chu wire hong lechon lang pia wire hoy circular chula na pi r square man dio wala here. So pi into R1 should be D by 2 the whole square into VD. V1 should be so V. Okay. Ale ani na pa khula le I2. I2 should that so N into E. Same material kiti yelchun N zong ki bangding E zong ki bangding na. So area to pi into so D by 4 the whole square into V hello V2 tiute na lahi. Equation number 1, equation number 2. Hita hi comparison ng phale na masa pena first case first material so zero lang, second material as zero lang, about divide ball no. So now you divide equation number 1 and 2. So I will have here I1 by I2 should be equals to divide ball NE pi, all of this cancel out. Okay. NE pi into so D square by is that 4 na 4 pa ko nui lang kum so ding abana V. Ano lang ako NE into pi into D square by 16 to chung lang chitaw ding. So I will have here V2. Okay. So NE gets cancel out. Pi D square cancel out. 4 1 is 4 4 are 16. Okay. Abala I1 to I2 values zong so umchula na. Gapul lechon. So I will have here I1 chu zat ham 100 into 10 power minus 3. I2 chu 200 into 10 power minus 3. So this is equals to 4V divided by V2. Okay. So 10 power minus 3. So you have 1, you have 2. Atile V2 chuzar hung cross multiply bolos and V2 is equals to so 8 times V. Okay. Sila nga 2 pa he na kung nga si tawleson. So 4 2 are 8 ta. So answer is 8V. Okay, I think you have one more question. A copper wire of radius kipi na sila radius suzat ham so 1 millimeter to 10 power minus 3 meter. Tinay so. Abana contains number of free electrons per cubic meter. 1 meter cube to number of electrons per unit volume kipi. So small n value is given 10 power 22. Abana PKPM drift velocity for free electrons when current to pm 10 ampere. Okay. Flows through a wire will be so charge on kipi na so E value on kipi to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. I honi hold you to VD hold you na. Okay, so this one is direct question. So I to pm NEA into VD. Kutele VD to pm so VD is equals to I divided by NEA NEA na. Okay, current to that kpm 10 kp na. So abana N to pm 10 power 22 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Abana chu piha area khuzat ham area chu r kp na so pi r square hol ngayon. So here you can take a 3.14 or 22 by 7. So 3.14 into 10 power minus 3 square to 10 power minus 6 r square pa chu na. So you solve this, what will you get? So divide them, so 10 divided by masa pen power or solve masala chu na. So minus 6 to minus 19 to minus 25. Okay. Minus 25 to 22 to cancel out minus 3. Minus 3 here chung lasi toding. So you'll have 10 power 4. Okay. Ahilole 10 into 10 power 3. So divided by 1.6 into 3.14. Hechiga solve lechun you will have okay, option ko velachun pi akipina. Okay. So then you don't have to write like this. Chipen pi put lechun. Okay. So power jar kasi ba so 10 into 10 power 3 hong ding chung lang ako divided by so 1.6 into pi. So 10 by 1.62 is anong podo diha 6.25 na. So 6.25 divided by pi into 10 power 3 meter per second. Okay. So which option ham? So 10 power 3. Okay, option B. na chilai question solve akona chu hedu chu piham drift velocity question hoi ta he direct question na value hong ki pia direct a drift velocity value ki dong thai na a hi lo jong le tai comparison ki bol thai cha so wire 1 wire 2 tai comparison na comparison ki bol phala chun so wire 1 an ji masat dio so material 2 an ji dio bal divide na bol dio na chu comparison any comparison solve lan so ji. Okay, next you have drift velocity is why na. So we have a very small topic chu piham mobility. Hi NCERT azong ko theory umbe se lo na definition uma formula ke ph chu hizing formula ke pi pa ha mandan he dio na chu hizing a formula chu pm drift velocity chu pm magnitude of drift mobility chu magnitude of drift velocity per electric field chu drift velocity divided by electric field. Okay, so magnitude of drift velocity divided by electric field honi he chu piham so drift velocity chu so e into tau divided by m tiu chulana. So now you can put that value here chala input lo chun chi so you will get this value. Okay, chu jo phala chun so electric field tani cancel ala chun remaining so e into tau divided by m. Okay, question kha ga solve me na direct question ki dong se NEET exam so a charged particle having drift velocity so vd ki pi so vd chu zat ham 7.5 into 10 power minus 4 meter per second. Abana electric field ke pina so e chu zat ham so 3 into 10 power minus 10 volt per meter. Ale question chun pi do ham mobility do chula na. So therefore mobility chu pi ham mu chu magnitude of vd divided by e. So vd chu 7.5 into 10 power minus 4 so divided by 3 into 10 power minus 10. Solve lesson 7.5 by 3 chu 3 2 are 6 3 5 are 15 khotile 10 kho chi to wala chun so 10 minus 4 to 6 na 10 power 6. Okay, chu hizing so option ho chi pen ha so 2.5 into 10 power 6 option B na. Okay, khotile chan chu drift velocity to mobility I bol za to hi azo drift velocity derivation I bol chuna produce lew hen chilai kuna ohms law hong podo this ohms law hona 10 level ani semu chu v equals to ir v proportional to I chu jana chipen chu iti hong kondo ham ong kondo dan chu chilai pa ke pan kit cho so helai ing announce chuna. So from here, okay, let's try to derive that one. To chi honi he chu I chu pi ham I chu NEA into VD. Kutila e honi he chu pi ham VD chu pi ham so E into tau divided by M. He je chuna drift velocity chu. To drift velocity formula pencil line put leo chun bing pot de ha. I equals to NEA into so E into tau divided by M. Okay. He ko na he pi ha so N into E square into A into E into tau divided by M. Okay. Silai ko na chu ipina bol thei bam tel electric field to potential relation chu ni hen lai ba. So see potential difference is electric field into distance. Okay, LZ jing na him or E into D zong na man thei kholom. Or I can write electric field chu because it hayam so V divided by L. Okay, he chepen hinga put leo chun electric field khel hin e ping pot de ha so I is equals to NE square A into tau into V divided by M into L. Okay, khutile chila hi see I'll try to rearrange this one. So V is equals to V khu chang sen na potential pa ho chang sen ko leo chun so M into L divided by NE square A into tau into I. Hita hi bola kazi ham katile chila hi pata sunga si se value chun so everything inside this is constant. Apona hi constant so sunga hi value chun hi cho si hina M to mass is length L, N to number of free electrons per unit volume, E to electron charge area na material so nala was material area to fix so na abana tau relaxation time ho bona material like depend. So here I can derive something so I can say that here so V is proportional to I. Hichipen hi Ohm's law hello na ji. So this is what we call Ohm's law. Okay, Ohm's law dita long pot na pension na chi hi so ai hon hi chipen hi khutile ai hon hi chopia V equals to IR tiu chula na he chalai constant pa happy ke se na chi chipen hi resistance ke se na ji. Okay, so this is your resistance. I'll try to write here. So V is equals to M into L divided by N into E square into area into tau into current. Okay, alaya hosi na. So these things kathazi alachon. This is our this is what. So m into n into e square into tau into L divided by E. Okay. Hitai kathazi kita alachon alaya tam si na. Si pikitam the chozong here another material ki depend quantity chona na. So this is your resistivity. Okay. Masapena chuchi hi resistance is a na chipen here. Abana ni na chipen hu resistivity. See so ehon rho into L by A ti pa ko na chalai ko nang po. So therefore resistance is what? So rho hiten ji masaute. Resistivity so rho kiti na chi. So rho is equals to so m into n e square into tau. Okay. Abana resistance so piham resistance to m into L divided by n e square A into tau. To achilaya here. Okay, I'll try to rewrite like this. Tau into A zinc. See here, this whole thing is resistivity. Okay. Resistance uti kazi thaya. Chilai kazi hila length chuma ko na. So this whole thing is resistivity. So therefore, what is resistance? Resistance to rho into L by A. Ehon formula I had penusuna. So this is resistivity, resistance katina. Okay, and then this is resistivity. Okay, it's a nagalut to be a sing. I don't know his only a hung condo down also in the hand sung the background on hand on variety. Okay, so one more quantity conductivity kitty. So the reciprocal of this conductivity resistivity conductivity kitty. Okay, so here I have written so resistance of rho into L by A. Unit to ohm. Na abana resistivity to rho. Okay. So from here you can transfer this one. R into A by L ohm meter. Resistivity is abana conductivity to so reciprocal of rho. Okay. Mo na. So opposite of resistivity. Reciprocal. Okay. Hintin abale not khat na melsi due resistance na. So it depends on the material it depends on the dimensions, it depends on the temperature, and it depends on the direction of flow of current. Alang pia question hong kido alachun hi cho thum hi na. Ako na hong base vet. It's a penny question khaleni ji ako chi kizi mai mai hi na integration zauna question ako. So alang pia chi cho thum hi mel si ta. So resistance depends on material, dimension, and temperature. Abana resistivity to peki dependam tele material to temperature only. Okay. Okay, then basic question solve na resistance. First question. So a wire of length 1 meter and radius 0.1 meter. So length kpm 1 meter, radius chusa kpm 0.1 millimeter. Chichu 0.1 into 10 power minus 3 meter. Meter kon van ngai. Abale resistance to kpm so 100 ohm. Question chun pidom rho do na resistivity. Direct formula apply lechon. So formula to piham R is equals to rho into L by A. Okay. Hotele rho to piham so R into A divided by L. Resistance to 100 is area to piham pi R square na. So pi to 3.14 radius to pihaji 10 power minus 4 na ji. So R square 10 power minus 4 the whole square divided by length to 1 meter. Okay. So you have a 100 into so 3.14 into 10 power minus 8. Is that 3.14 into 10 power minus 6. Okay. Chuchu ohm meter. Resistivity na. Basic question. A uniform wire of resistance 100 ohm is melted and recast into a wire of length double. Examples of wire hitayam so na ji. So now you're going to recast this one. Melt in, so you are going to recast and make it double of its length, original length. Adila chu ela hilachun to hi 2L na. Chita bang question hi common in na. Ang solve dan chu piha idea pencho. So here you write a note. Si question hi na. To chu wire kha chu hong kimela na. Tha ong ki swala chun ipi chu constant ha. So what is the quantity which is not changing? Area hi value chun hi chi pe new che chu will change na. Length hi value chun sau che de na. So the only thing that is constant is the volume of the conductor. Okay, chu melted tau. So the question why if a wire is melted and recast am katil chun volume chu constant na he volume chu ki khelo de. So here volume remains constant. Na hello unchanged. Okay. Volume pa chu na remains constant or unchanged. Depends on melted tau. Hela jong hi in man du chu. Length chu L initial pa chu L hela chun L final pa chu piham so 2 times of L. Okay. Kutele area volume constant iti uchula na. Kutele V initial should be equals to V final. Kasi banga chu wire hi cylindrical wire chula na. Cylinder area chu piha base area into height iti uchu. Height chu chila hi length pa hi height is na. So here area volume initial chu piha base area into length. Bana second after recasting volume chu piham final area into length. Height area into height na. So L gets cancelled out. So final area will be equals to initial area divided by 2. Area is also 2 times sakit decreases by half. Okay, then R initial so comparison question is kasi first case 0 second case 0 divide ball na. So first case chu piha initial wire chu resistance to 100 is equals to rho into L divided by area initial na. It's equation 2 juta. Abana second case chu piham resistance all dio R final is equals to material chu ki bang so rho into 2L divided by final area chu piha so initial area divided by 2 chichu so rho into 2 chito 4 na so 4 into rho into L divided by area initial. Okay. So this value is same na. Kutele chu chuzat ham 4 into 100. So that means 400 ohm. Okay, new resistance pa chu na. Okay, next. Calculate the electric field in a copper wire of cross section area Kp. So area is 2 millimeter square to 2 into 10 power minus 6 meter square. Current chuzat ham current chu 1 ampere. Resistivity chu rho na rho chuzat kpm 1.7 into 10 power minus 8 ohm meter. Okay. Electric field hole na chala here. So here you have another new concept. Okay, chuchu batang hisela in derive involving kate. So we have seen that J is equals to V is equals to IR. Ohm's law pan derive bolte. Ohm's law chu hi cho na bale electric field to potential relation chu piha. So I can write this as E into D. Okay, E into L. So I into rho into L divided by A. To V to hin R hi ka formula ka put chu jala hi. So L gets cancelled out. Kutile electric field chu piham. So I divided by so rho into I divided by A. So I divided by A chu piha current density chu na hi. So chala hi pi ke donga. Okay, equation 1 put kata chi man chu chala hi. So here you'll have E is equals to rho into J. Okay. Ahilole J is equals to 1 by rho into E. 1 by rho reciprocal of resistivity chu pita conductivity chu na. So J is equals to sigma into E. So you also have one more relation. Okay. Relation between current density and electric field. Eventually question ay manu chu pen na. Electric field direct ke donga hi ja chu electric field chu piham so rho 1.7 into 10 power minus 8 into current so 1 ampere divided by area chu 2 into 10 power minus 6. It's solve the electric field on pod de is that ham so 1.7 chu 17 into 10 power minus 9 divided by 2 into 10 power minus 6. So 2 8 are 16, 2 5 are 10 into 10 power minus 3. Okay, chichu his answer is that 8.5 millivolt per meter. Okay, alole into 10 power minus 3 tan ko dan theo na. Okay, abana a wire of length to 2 meter kpa, resistance to kpm 5 ohm na. Find the electric field existing inside the wire if it carries a current of current kp na 10 ampere. Kutil azo derivation small derivation in ball pause na hezi pen hi man kid deu cha chala hai. Okay, then solve ta. So same thing. V equals to IR onke patna chuna chala he. So here electric field ki doja chusi direct is ka to pen here. So here I have E is equals to rho into I divided by A. To chu value chun resistance ki pi chula na. So you know that R chu pi rho into L by A hisa. Kutil rho chu pi ham R into A divided by L. He pen put the line. So R into A divided by L into I divided by A. Kutil area cancel out. So R into I divided by L. Simplification ka bol le liya na. Okay. So you solve this one. R chusa kpm. So 5 ohm kp na. Current chusa kpm 10 kp. Length chu 2 meter. So how much is this? 25 volt per meter. Okay, that is the question. The answer na. Okay, we have one more question. A certain wire A resistance kp na si R. So wire A to B hilchun comparison kita chule na. A na zidu, B na zidu, compare divide. Okay. So RA, RA chuzat ham 81 ohm. Okay. So another wire B of the same material kutile rho ki bangding, length chong ki bangding, but of length equal length kp na. But of diameter chu twice. Kutile chipa diameter hi, let's say this is D. Kutile khatpa chu RB diu ta na ji hi ki hello cho I hold diu. Diameter of B chu pi ham thrice diameter of A. Okay. Radius of A chu pi ham D by 2 na. So radius of B chu zat ham. So 3 into so D chu D is na. D. So divided by 2. Okay. Okay, now you can divide. Resistance must have been 81 to rho into L divided by area. So pi D by 2 the whole square. Okay. So khatpen chu pi ham. So RB is equals to rho into L divided by so pi into 3D by 2 the whole square. Okay, pi R square na. So here you just simplify further. So rho into L divided by pi into D square into so 2 are 4 so chung la chi tau di equation 1. Abanahu RB is equals to so rho into L divided by pi into 3 are 9 D square divided by 4 equation 2. Okay, now you divide this two. Now you divide this two. Zarang pot diham. So 81 divided by RB should be equals to 4 into rho into L divided by pi D square. So divided by 4 into rho into L divided by 9 into pi D square. Kutil abona ki cancel ding, you will have 9. Okay. So therefore RB chu zarang medium RB chu cross multiply bolachun 81 divided by 9 chu 9 ohm. Answer chu 9 ohm. Okay. Okay, question tumle lina resistance to ki relate question is solved cho formula ho ke apply dano he thim na dinga chana. And finally we have temperature dependence of resistance and resistivity. Tang resistance to resistivity chu itiki depend to hi conductor I bolo jana. So all these are conductors which conducts electricity. Okay. To ga nungchi le chun resistivity a chuna. So rho chu bita zo lang pe derivation a chu. So rho is m into NE square into tau. M divided by katina. M divided by N into E square into tau. Okay. Hichi hi value chun abale he chu rho R so pi rho into L by A na. Ale to hi suppose temperature hong kal so na. So if temperature increases khutile pi diha thermal agitation di chu electrons collision chu gang che na. So electron moves faster and faster. Okay, electron temperature hong kala chuna khutile electron has ang gang che chun. So time di chu tau pen hi value chun time between two collision chu new che ta chu. Okay, tau value chu hom che ring. That means so tau decreases. Okay, ate tau pa hi hong decrease ala chun tau hi denominator am chula na. Overall resistivity chu kal ta chu. As chu denominator on wa chana chu overall value chu kal de na. So here you have rho will be increasing. Okay, abala rho to resistance value chun directly proportional chuna. So rho will increase, so therefore resistance will increase. Okay, hechi lai ka zi pa hena as temperature increases both resistance and resistivity increases. Chu mial chita o chi pen hi conductor ana. Ale a relation pa chu chi hi jing to class 11 a thermal expansion formula khona chi pen hu ki mang chu a chela hi. So rho is equals to elo le ta zone de na. So rho final is equals to rho initial into 1 plus alpha into delta T. Okay, hello le resistance sa chu pi ha. So R final equals to R initial into 1 plus alpha into delta T. Chi chu jo formula chu. Hechi alpha biham temperature coefficient of resistivity. Okay. Na resistance aung hilachun temperature coefficient of resistance. Hechi formula pen hi mel si lo. So na question jo si chilai ke solve ba chu. Theory lampanga heading chu chi pen hi chilai ka ji pa he na. Ibola temperature kala la chun resistance to resistivity chu kal ham na chilai ka explain pa he. Okay, then first question. Resistance of a wire at 25 degrees Celsius. Chichu T25 ziuta. R25. Resistance at 25 chichu 10 ohm. When heated to 125, its resistance becomes 10.5. Thus R125 degree achu 10.5 ohm. Okay. Value chun temperature kalchana chu resistance on kalchana na. So question must have been to find the temperature coefficient of resistance alpha kitong. So chila hi. So formula chu directly apply lo chun. So R final chu pi ha chila hi. Final chu 125 pen hai na. So R at 125 should be equals to R at 25 into 1 plus alpha into. So 125 is the final temperature is so 25 degrees to initial temperature. Okay, value put vilang solve lesson. So here I have a 10.5 is equals to 10 into 1 plus alpha into 100. Okay. So bracket hong lesson na lang khalanga ko zilanga ko. So I will have 10 plus so alpha into 10 into 100 so 1000 alpha. Okay. 2 hin 10 pa velanga transfer lesson. So 0.5 hong dina. 0.5 is equals to 1.5 1000 into alpha. So therefore alpha so is hong diham. So 0.5 divided by 10,000 so 5 into 10 power minus 4. Okay. Here is a degree Celsius degree Celsius power minus 1 per degree Celsius. So Japan here. So B part so B part 2, find the resistance of the wire at 425 degrees Celsius. So R at 425 should be equals to reference point. So I will take this one, the first one. So here R at 25 initial pass. So 1 plus alpha into 425 minus 25. Delta T T final minus T initial. So here is that here. So R at 25 so 10. So 1 plus alpha so that 5 into 10 power minus 4. Okay. So into 400. So 10 into 1 plus 5 4 are 20. So 2000 into 10 power minus 4 to 0.2 na ji. Okay. So 10 into is that 1.2. So that means 12 ohm. Okay. So answer. Okay. So I think we have one more question. Resistance of a wire iron to copper kipina. Comparison kita. Okay. So the resistance of iron wire and copper wire at 20 degrees Celsius are, so R of iron tutin at 20 to 3.9 ohm. Abana R of copper at 20 to 4.1 ohm. Okay. So at what temperature will the resistance be equal? So let's say at T. At T, the resistance becomes equal. So R of iron at T, R of iron at 20 into 1 plus alpha into, so T minus 20. Formula to apply na. Similarly, R of copper at temperature T is equals to R of copper at 20 degrees Celsius into 1 plus alpha into T minus 20. Okay, alpha zong kipi, so alpha of iron zong kipi ga puro to line. So iron achu 5 into 10 power minus 3. So into T minus 20. Okay. Abano copper achu copper achu 4 into 10 power minus 3 into T minus 20. Okay. 2 hin divide no me divide ball bilang na question answer PKPM ki banga ti chula na so left hand side is equal so just equate the right hand side no divide ang ball no equate ang ball so let's just compare equate them so left hand side r initial 20 to 3.9 into so 1 plus 5 into 10 power minus 3 so t minus 20 is equals to 4.1 so 1 plus 4 into 10 power minus 3 so t minus 20 it's solve the answer bracket hong 3.9 plus is that 5 9 are 45 4 in hand 5 3 are 15 16 17 18 19 into 10 power minus 3 so t minus 20 okay equals to 4.1 plus 4 1 is 4 4 4 are 16 into 10 power minus 3 so t minus 20 okay 2 in hechi tam pa hai na value nga transfer lang hechi pa hi zila nga transfer leo chun so subtract bol the okay so 19.5 minus 16.4 chuzar ha so I will have here 3.1 na so 3.1 into 10 power minus 3 so t minus 20 equals to 4.1 minus 3.9 chuzar ha 9 10 11 0.2 okay khud le chalai para hi t minus 20 chuzar hong diam so 0.2 divided by 3.1 into 10 power minus 3 okay that the hazilang pa hai so 0.2 to 10 power minus 3 kho chitolson 10 power 3 na so you will have 200 divided by 3.1 okay approximation value kan so approximate value na so this is approximately 36 or 18 36 or 18 66 jing ta okay that means I have is that so t minus 20 to 66 helation t to that ha so 86 degrees Celsius okay calculation part tempat complex diu na hezong le tiha question experience tiha formula apply dan he thim na ding anju kan ko izana japan he okay let's solve one more achina pen chu the resistance of platinum wire at 0 degree so r0 chuzar hams 2 ohm na 0 degree achu kpia so 80 degree achu za kpm 80 degree achu 6.8 ohm okay question should be what is the temperature coefficient alpha whole na so easy question so r80 should be equals to r0 1 plus alpha into so 80 minus 0 okay is that the value population 6.8 equals to so 2 into 1 plus alpha into 80 okay so 6.8 equals to bracket hong 2 plus 2 8 are 16 160 into alpha so 160 into alpha chuzat dingham 6.8 minus 2 to 4.8 okay so alpha chuzat hong dingham so alpha is equals to so 4.8 divided by 160 that's it we have 48 divided by 1600 jong ka thei chole na so 16 into 3 to 48 is so 0.03 okay so per degree Celsius so 3 into 10 power minus 2 ti nei so option A okay hi chan chu first part of current electricity chapter na lecture ma sa pen I hope you understand okay question is solved for na paten bol velang akit phalakun next part is resistance combination of resistance boloten na abale circuit ailu theba zona circuit analu chan join so we'll stop here I hope you understand okay thank you for watching I'll see you in the next lecture